Welcome to Tuesday Night Terrorvision. I am the father of currency, Pete Daddy effing Dollar, Mr. Prime Time in the 9890, you bub. We're here. It's another Tuesday night episode number 51, joined by the one, the only, J-Man.
Hey, how's it going?
Right, as I'm facing my screen over here, this guy. Thanks for joining me, Jay.
Thank you for having me.
See you again, man. As always, bro, as always. And our guest this evening making his return to the program, far from Blake.
What's up, everybody? Glad to be back. It's been a while.
Glad to have you back, man. We were joking around when you were having your connection issues beforehand. I said, he's like, I can't take this. I'm done. And I said,
too much pressure. I'm out.
I said, Halloween, the Rob Zombie Halloweens didn't break him. It was the pre-show. That was he was.
I'm done. Through 4.5 hours of talking about Rob Zombie Halloween, but the pre-show is just too much.
I said, this guy is a guest for life now. I'm like, that was like baptism by fire. He still hates me for it, but he comes back. Glad to have you, bro. Always good to see you, man.
Yep, it's always a good time.
To see you. Welcome to the chat. What up, manliness? Good to see you. I'm someplace else. I'm someplace else mentally. Well, I would say somewhere warm, but it was warm enough to be out on the boat today. But I did the responsible thing and stayed home and worked out and did stuff around the house and just watched a movie, which we're going to talk about, You're Next, which came out in 2011 and wasn't released until 2013. Because it got widespread praise at film festivals, and then it didn't come out for another 2 years. But I have something I want to show first. This was brought to my attention, and it is a video game trailer. And we do some gaming here. If you're a channel member, you got to see us play Party Animals for 2.5 hours last night, which was fun. But this is not Party Animals. This is Hellraiser Revival. And this is the game announcement trailer. We're going to play this and discuss it for a few minutes, and then we'll get into our review.
You have a void. A desirous, gaping heart. It thirsts for excruciating pleasure. The very thing we offer. She is hellbound. Follow her, for we have such sights to show you.
And that's on Steam, which I'm going to throw that on my wish list. I really am. I think that looks kind of dope. It seems like a difficult game to translate or movie to translate into a game.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about that beforehand, J-Man. And, I'm a big fan of the franchise because very soon, this, like I said, I'm hesitant to do it because I have to take 2 months out of the ring to get this piece done. But yeah, this is all going to be Pinhead over here.
2022 Pinhead or
oh, we're going with the Doug Brad. No offense to Jamie Clayton, because I did like that movie and her performance was absolutely wonderful in it.
Yeah, I actually liked it as well. I was shocked. Yeah. I was shocked.
I went into that movie with every intention of wanting to hate it, and I was like, I hated the characters outside of the Cenobites, except the main antagonist, of the human group, the rich guy. The main girl, I just really couldn't have been bothered to care about her, but the Cenobites were cool. And seeing all the different lament configurations was fantastic.
The best thing in the movie.
And they showed the Leviathan one in the game trailer, which I was like,
So it's basically Hellraiser 2, this movie. Like you're going in to go help her or something or whatever. You've got the box and you're going in. And I mean, can you fight these? It's weird. We'll see what they do. I mean, you can get it and let us know.
Yeah,
what the game is like.
I want to do a playthrough of this. Blake, what do you think?
Me personally, I've never been that big of a Hellraiser fan. I've only ever seen the first one, so I don't have huge attachment to this franchise. I think based off how it looks, though, it looks pretty cool. It's not multiplayer, it's like a story mode type game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also, when it comes to video games, I'm more of a multiplayer kind of guy. So not technically a game I would play. I like playing with interactive people. Like I was big on the Friday the 13th game, even if it wasn't the greatest game in the world. Just feeling like you could play, as Jason and with your friends and try to kill people with that. That's more my cup of tea. I like multiplayer and just joking around with my friends on there. But it looks cool. I mean, it was a good trailer.
Yeah, and that's it too. Is I would be more enthusiastic if it was some sort of a multiplayer game. Yeah. Like you have your group and you're trying to defeat the Cenobites, escape, whatever, what have you. But I'm bigger on that too, especially with like gaming online with my PC. Is more I would rather play multiplayer games. I'm a huge Demonologist fan. I know Draven hates it. Which is why I never get to play it, because it's like I don't just go play with like random people. I've never done that. It's like if I'm playing, it's like I want to like be with like people that I know. It just makes it more enjoyable that way.
Yeah, for sure. It's just like I don't know. Just I barely play video games as it is anymore. So if I do, it's usually just to hang out with my boys and whatever and joke around, and that automatically makes it 10 times more fun just doing that.
I only play Street Fighter. That's the only game I play, and I have no one to fight because I can beat it on the hardest level with the worst character, and I don't have anyone to play against. Like I need to play against like these like Korean and Japanese guys to like have any challenge at this point. I've been playing Street Fighter since part 1, Street Fighter 1 in the arcade.
I'm that way with Madden. Like my kid. My kid just started playing Madden. Like I had him playing Tecmo Super Bowl a couple years ago on the NES and stuff like that. He likes that regular Tecmo Bowl. Yeah. But so when I got my replacement PS2, I got another Fat Boy, which is nice. He started playing Madden and he's really good. Like he broke my single game scoring record. He racked up like 120 points. What up, Joe Dog? Good to see you. Dog. Good to see you. I racked up like 120 points. He broke like my passing record. He had like 900 yards passing. I said, "You're playing on rookie, buddy." I said, "I'm playing on all pro. We are not the same." So we played. He said, "I want to play you 1v1." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "I'm going to apologize to you right now. I'm going to hurt your feelings."
No, don't destroy him and don't apologize. I never let any of my nieces and nephews win, and I demolish them and then laugh at them after I beat them.
The first quarter, I was up. I was up 30 to nothing, and I was only like I was going half speed on him, and I wasn't even using that good of a team. I was using the Cowboys, and he was the Colts because we're playing 2011, so Peyton Manning was still on the Colts at that point, and I ended up beating him like 95 to, I think I let him have 2 touchdowns, 95 to 14.
No mercy.
No
mercy.
You should have gotten higher, and he should have gotten 0. You're a terrible dad.
I
think I had 3 or 4 pick sixes. I knocked Manning out in like the second quarter. Like I was just running blitzes on him until I knocked him out. Then he had to have Jim Sorgi come in. So it was, but yeah, the video games, it's like, no mercy. That's how we but it's always more fun to play with someone else. And I usually play Madden, like I'm playing on a PS2, so I play by myself. Normally it's just a computer. But yeah, if I game online, it's like I do that with my friends. But this game, not a multiplayer, single player story mode, still looks kind of interesting. I'm gonna wish list it. I'll check it out, and I'll probably do a live playthrough or a playthrough until I get stuck and just rage quit, which is happened before. That's what happened when I was playing Mortuary Assistant.
Manliness mentioned earlier about Nightbreed. It's funny. I just this past weekend picked up Cabal, which is the novel that Nightbreed is from. I have Hellbound Heart, and I never read Cabal. And I was at one of those like thrift bookstores, like it's just they're like $2, $3. So I bought a bunch of Star Trek books. I was like, Cabal. I was like, oh shit, I don't have this. So I got that. Nightbreed.
I've read about half of the Hellraiser comics I have. They're out there stories, but they're good.
They're good.
I like the comics. I love the art.
Yeah.
The style is fucking amazing.
Those are harder to. I don't see those two. I've got a handful, and I don't really see them around, so I'm keeping those. But I actually liked they did a Hellraiser comic series. I guess it was like mid 2000s or something. I don't remember the year, but it was Kirsty becomes Pinhead. They swap. Yeah. He comes out, and she takes over.
Yep.
And she's all white. It was pretty good. Like, it's a bit gimmicky, but I was like, well, it was kind of neat. So
I have the first two on VHS, like original VHS.
Me too.
And then I have the rest of them are all on DVD. They all came in a set. They were like $15. They're like, only like two of these are good. $15 here, here you go. But a movie with no other existing sequels, prequels, or anything of that ilk is the movie we're reviewing tonight, which is this one. You're Next, which, as I said, is an Adam Wingard film. Came out in 2011, was released widespread in 2013, and has, I would say, largely been forgotten. I just heard about this one when J-Man brought it up to me, and I'm like, let's do this. I want to get Blake. Did you see this before?
No. So this was my first time watching it, but when you mentioned it, I was like, that sounds familiar. And I looked at my huge watch list of hundreds of movies that I'll probably never be able to get to. That is on my list, and I don't know exactly when I put it, probably a couple years ago. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, sweet, cool. That was on my list. First time watching it. Yeah, checked it off.
What did you think?
I liked it overall. I thought the beginning was kind of slow for me. I felt like in the beginning, like I couldn't figure out the tone exactly what they were going for. But as the layers started unpeeling, I started to like it a lot more as it went along. I didn't really care for the characters in the beginning. There was one character, one of the brothers, let me see what his name was, that was kind of driving me crazy in the beginning. It's that one obnoxious brother that was kind of bullying Drake. Is that the one?
Yeah, that's Drake.
In the beginning of the movie, he kind of got on my nerves. I was like, this guy is driving me nuts. And I don't know if we're getting full on with the spoilers yet.
Yeah, is he the most obnoxious brother for the first 20 minutes or the ones that are actually evil scumbags?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like in the beginning, he drove me nuts, but then afterwards you're like, okay, the layers get unpeeled.
Definitely Act 2. I think I got to rethink some of this.
That's pretty much what happened. I'm like, maybe he's not that bad a guy.
Right.
It's like, so that's kind of was the turn in the midway through the movie. It's funny. I threw the movie on in the background without the sound on, and right now it's like in the beginning portions of the movie, and they're like messing with each other. I think he's literally getting introduced right now in the background as I'm talking about him. But yeah, he drove me a little crazy. But as the movie got to that midway point, I think it gets really, really cool. Obviously, it's more of a home invasion kind of slasher movie.
Yep.
But I felt like it's more of a twist where it's like, my cousin put it in one of his reviews where it was like, essentially, these people aren't trapped with they're not trapped with the people, they're trapped with Aaron.
Right.
And that's kind of the thing. I felt like this movie has one of the best final girls I've ever seen. I thought she was awesome, so I was on board. Honestly, from the moment things switch, and then she's like immediately like calling things out, this and that, she's like, no funny business. Like, all right. And then one guy's like, it's like, well, I've never seen you like this. It's like, all right, well, this is a unique situation. We got to go. You know what I mean? And she's likable at the beginning of the movie too. And that's kind of what makes her work, is she seems like the likable, nice, sweet girl in the beginning. But then once things get real, you're like, and that's something I feel like you miss a lot in horror movies, where a lot of times it's like everyone's an idiot and they start panicking, freaking. You do kind of need someone that's going to be like, and I think we all like to think in our own minds, if things get real, it's like, no, I'm not gonna just.
We're
run it
Aaron,
here.
right?
Yeah, we're Aaron in that moment. So you feel like you're vicariously living through her. Like, okay, yeah, we got to do whatever we can to survive in this moment.
She has that girl next door quality about her, like the character. I was like immediately, what is she doing with this just goober, this just walking pile of dough of a guy? Like, in terms of like context of the story, I'm like, how does this make sense? Like, because you knew it was going to come into play somewhere, you know, and yeah, it's okay. So he's got a shitload of money, but she's obviously not a gold digger. You never get that impression.
No.
Her character's never painted in a negative light throughout the movie. She has like that quiet stoicism. She's not a typical female final girl in that respect, where she was scared, she was vulnerable, but she still was absolutely ice cold. And that first kill where she bashes the guy's head in with the fucking hammer, I think I fell in love at that point. Like, oh my god, like she's bad as hell, and like I was like, because you always get to the point in the movie where one of the protagonists will hit the killer or something, and you're like, do it again, and they never do it again. So she's like,
again,
nah, again, and again, and again.
Right.
And and that was the thing too. It's not that she was like relentless or whatever. She was so smart with everything she did. It's like she was about to get got, and she turned over her shoulder, kicks the guy in the nuts first, knowing that was going to throw him off, and then immediately didn't mess around. Like you said, didn't kick him in the nuts and run away. She immediately starts hitting him. And then, like I said, she's pulling out every little thing. She's setting booby traps a little bit, Home Alone-esque, but just on steroids. And
She did the Death Wish 3 trap.
Yeah.
If the guy looks and sees the nails and then he steps, that's Death Wish 3. I was very happy to see that.
When she dropped the guy, she kicked him in the nuts, hit him in the knee, and then went right to the back of his head. I'm just like,
combos.
When she did that, it's like she's just not some chick. That was like, that's very controlled motion she used when she did that. It was very deliberate. I'm like,
it was tactical.
It was fantastic, man. And that's the thing I love about these movies, where you do have a character like this, and we're three guys, and we're sitting here being like, she's badass, and it's like completely like a plausible character too, you know. Like it's kind of like, what was it, Rorschach, you know, I'm not stuck in there with them, you know, they're stuck in here with me. That was basically her when the shit hit the fan. And with the kid, with the first guy getting killed, you had, what is it, Tiger, Lamb, and
it's like a wolf or something.
The three different masks. When she took him out first, like, okay, so now we've got multiple killers, because she stabbed the one in the hand in the kitchen.
That was like the first sign. Her walk with the knife, and he bursts his hand through the window, and you think she's in trouble, and boom, immediately stabs her, and she stabs him and runs away. She was not messing around the whole time. And like you said, too, I think it was beautifully directed, that first real attack scene where she kills the guy, was because she's running, and all of a sudden he bursts through the window, and we think we think she's really in trouble. And they do like a cool slow-mo as he's coming through the window, really bringing like a lot of aura to like his, oh, this is the big bad villain coming in. And then she just murks him in like the next 30 seconds. That was cool. That was really cool.
Yeah. And normally, and Jay knows this especially, where there's female characters taking out larger guys, I'm the first one to be like, hey, but in this, then I'm like, no, she bad. She bad.
Tactical.
She's like I said, she's a very, and I don't want to, this might seem like a reach, but try to stay with me here. To a certain degree, very Cynthia Rothrock esque in her skill set and presentation.
In the spin kicks.
We didn't necessarily get to see as much like the hand to hand, but just like the tactical ability of Cynthia Rothrock's characters throughout her glorious career of amazing.
Black Creek is out this year too, so I have to get that.
But no, I really, the Sharni
something,
is the actress's name. She's Australian, obviously, if you listen to her talk. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen her in anything else, and I'm like, she's only 42, so she's a couple years younger than I am. I saw a couple of pictures of her. I'm like, I want to see her in more stuff. Like, if I'm casting a horror movie and I need a final girl that's like I would go to her, honestly. Like, her acting in the movie, and we can talk about the acting for a minute. Her acting was like the top of the heap in this movie. As far as that goes, I'm trying to think of the only other performance that was really not just boilerplate. I don't.
Well, we had Barbara Crampton in it as the mom, so she's famous horror actress in like 4 trillion movies, and so it's like it was good to see her. But she went out early. I guess they couldn't afford to keep her too long. They're like, you'll just die first. Come in for one day, and then we'll get you.
I feel like the Felix character was decent as the movie went along. When you find out more about him, I felt like he was solid. He wasn't someone I paid attention too much in the beginning, which I guess is like a good thing for what they're doing. But yeah, I do think that was some of the flaws I felt in the beginning of the movie, is that the acting performances and the characters I wasn't in love with. But as the story goes along, I feel like you fall in love with the way the movie plays out so much that I am more interested to go back, and maybe there's things on rewatch that I'll see things differently.
For sure.
That's how it felt. I felt like I was missing something after it got good almost.
You were a little bit. I've seen this many times. So I suggested this for you and Trina a while back, like way back before we were doing the Giallos. And I was going through my list of final girls because I'd met what's her name? Jamie, Danielle Harris, and I was checking off the boxes like all my favorite final girls. I was like, I'm never going to meet that girl from You're Next. Like, she's one of my favorites. I'm like, she's never going to come to a con here in Canada or whatever, right? So I was like, I'll never meet her. And I thought, you know what? I should ask you guys if you had seen it, and you'd said you hadn't. I was like, you should watch You're Next. And so when it came, but then we lost track with our Giallos, and then we just kind of lost track of this movie. And I thought, okay, let me bring this one back up again, because not too many people are talking about it. What reminded me is when we had our thing where we were talking about there's no sequel. Like, it's not going to become a franchise. It's not going to become toy lines and Funko Pops, and you're not going to have a mask like, Blake at the background. You're not going to have posters. You're not going to have all this shit unless it becomes a franchise. So we were talking about movies that never became one, like those animal masks. You can definitely have a franchise of that, right? With different, because even The Strangers has multiple ones, which is based on those masks. But the marketing for this movie, so I didn't see this in the theater. I thought it looked lame. I saw a trailer. I was like, yeah, I'm good. This is lame. And Home Invasion's bullshit. It's bullshit. But in the theater, I was looking at these posters. I'm going to try to see if I can find some and share them to you. There's these posters, and when you're looking at them for movies that were out, and there's like a shine in them or something. And when you're looking at it, there was a reflection of the guys in the masks for movies that were not You're Next. And it looked like it was behind you. So if you're looking at a movie, so you're looking at a poster for pick a movie that came out, I don't know, pick whatever, like Star Trek or something. Star Trek is out, and you're looking at the Star Trek poster, and I'm like, hey, it looks like there's like some weird lamb face mask guy or something. Like, oh shit, that's like, looks like it's behind me. That was for You're Next. They did this incognito marketing.
That's cool.
It's so cool.
That's fucking cool. That's a good concept.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, this is so interesting. So I was like, okay, by that time it wasn't playing in theaters anymore. So I just bought it. I bought it sight unseen on Blu-ray, and I watched it. And I thought, this was awesome. And here's the thing. Erin is with that guy because she needs normal and boring. That's why she's with them.
Yeah, that's kind of what you learn, yeah.
Right? It's like her family was like, they're crazy, obviously. And once she is, I don't want to say she's Rambo, obviously, but she doesn't turn it off, right? You don't just turn it off. That's Rambo's famous line. Once she goes into survival mode, she's in. And she is doing all the right things. She's listening in on conversations. She's picking up on little clues. she's following it's like looking like, hey, where were you? Oh, how come you weren't over there? What's going on? All these little bitty things. And the way the movie plays out by being boring, it is slow. I just watched it. I've seen it like maybe 4 times or whatever. So I watched it again for this stream. And you're right, Blake. It's a bit slow in the beginning, but when you're watching it again, you're going to notice the way they're acting.
Yeah.
And you'll know who's on whose team. Like you'll be like, oh, these 2 guys are scheming, right? So little things like that are definitely shown.
Yeah, on upon rewatch.
Yeah, like because now and I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to say it's not. She's not even a final girl. She's like a mid girl because final girls usually in the last act or in the last half of the last act, they find some sort of inner strength to overcome the villain in the last chase, and that's the final act. But she was like the movie got flipped. Where and you know what's funny is that they made the family despicable so that you kind of didn't care if they died, but then the villains were such pieces of shit that you're like, you know what? These family members, they're kind of irritating, but they didn't deserve to die. And yeah, maybe they're a bit offside and they're a bit rude, but really they don't deserve to die. It's like, you guys are pieces of garbage. So I hated the villains so much that when Aaron starts to take the villains out, you're like full on go, get him. Like
that's
you're like
excited. You're rooted for her.
You're rooting for her big time, right? Like it's like
Speaking of rooting for Aaron, we can root for Sharni Vinson because it just so happens by an act of God, J-Man, Blake, that we're reviewing Your Next today on July 22nd because happy birthday, Sharni Vinson.
What? I did not know that.
Should you ever see this? Yeah, today is her birthday, and I was looking to tag her on Twitter, but I found her on Instagram, so I'm going to tag her on Instagram in a post with the thumbnail on it, saying we're reviewing Your Next, and on Sharni's birthday. So
I did not know that. I did not plan that
at all.
That's awesome,
right? That's it's funny. No, it's just it's insane that. Yeah, she was born on July 22nd, 1983. She's 42 years old.
Wow, that's crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, she's definitely one of the best final girls I've ever seen.
Yeah, and you feel that instantly, man.
Yeah,
Really
the movie starts out with a bit of a swerve, but it's a very slasher thing to do with the couple in the house, the unnamed couple. Yeah. When you're introduced to a couple like this in a horror movie, you can pretty much bet that these are going to be our pre-title card first victims. And holding true to form, we can check that box off here.
Check that off.
Because the girl, it's like the guy and her like get it on, and
she's not excited. That's for sure. She was not happy with that.
Looking at him, I could see why.
That's all I was thinking the whole time. Like,
you guys are so mean. Look at this. This is what we're at, man.
I was just like, they did that on purpose. They totally like tipped the aesthetic scale, so you're just gonna be like, this guy's, and then he was kind of douchey. It's like, dude, if you're a bigger boy, whatever, but like, just don't be a douche. This guy was like, you could tell he was kind of a douchebag too.
Right.
So it's like, that was the major strike against him. And then she didn't, I don't know, you didn't really get to know her too well, but she just seemed like, I don't know, she just got offed. And then I love the Your Next thing on the glass.
Yeah,
like,
that was cool.
The guy just busts right through. That shit was fucking wicked. But yeah, axe to the fucking forehead. It set it up very, very slasher-like with that opening scene, and then it takes the turn, and you see, okay, so we've got like the home invasion type thing, which I think on the cover art I had for this one, it looked like the same font as The Strangers almost.
Could be like that scratchy font. I want to ask you guys about something as well, but because I've seen this so many times, I want to ask your thoughts.
If you
Your Next, it's like scratchy.
Yeah, it looks. It's not the same. It just
that's like the British. You can tell it's the British DVD because it's got the stupid rating in the bottom corner. That's the key art they use. I think the regular, there was 3 normal posters. It was just a zoom in of their faces. That's it.
Yep.
So it's a nothingness. It's just it's nothing. It's not.
No, the newer ones are now like you've seen. Because I did a Blu-ray release. It's got Aaron on the front of it,
Right.
which it should because she's
Well, you
a
don't
fucking
wanna-
star. You
I
don't
know,
want
but
to
you
give
don't-
that away though.
Yeah, no, but this is why I was trying to. I didn't even want to tell you it was one of my favorite Final Girls because I was like, I think I ended up telling you just to push you to get. I was like, you got to watch this because one of my favorites, like just to push you a little bit to watching it. But like, I wanted you to just like experience it as is like, whoa, what the hell? This chick's like all of a sudden becomes like awesome, and what the hell happened here? Like, okay, it's like that was the okay. I got to ask you guys about this. The opening the door and running out to the car. Okay, when I saw that, I was like, oh, I never react. I've seen I own like 800 horror movies at minimum, at least 800 out of my 4,000. So like, let's say I own 1,000 horror movies. I don't react. I don't get jump scared. Nothing happens. Like nothing. And I have zero, like Terrifier could watch 100 times. Nothing affects me. When I was like, oh, I actually like went, oh, like I went. So my wife's like, oh, that must have been something really good. I was like, yeah, that was pretty good right there. I didn't expect that one. So what did you guys think of that when that happened?
Go ahead, Blake.
So I knew something was gonna happen.
Right.
Clearing it up. Like I was like, I knew I was expecting like another crossbow or arrow, whatever this and that. The line, the barbed wire. That was the last that I thought. So I was like, oh snap, because it was so quick, and you can just tell they're gearing up. Like I'm so fast, I'm gonna run so fast, and the one guy's like, they'll never see it coming because if we open the door at just the right time, blah blah.
Right.
And I was just like, yeah, they're not gonna see that coming, and just runs out and boom, doesn't even go out a foot. I mean, the second the door she gets to the door is already done, and that's just a brutal way, no matter how you frame it, to die is to get your throat slit like that. And it's running full speed. It's like, and that was the daughter, and it's clearly based off what we got. She seemed more innocent compared to the rest of the family. And the dad really liked her. She's like, "Daddy, blah blah." Like, and he gave her a hug.
Where's my princess?
Exactly. So like, that seemed like the sweet little angel of the family. So I also think it happened in her is also like the most probably shocking one to do it to, something that raw and gory.
Get that scene is I have like pillars on the front of my house, and now walking out my front door, I'm gonna be like, son of a bitch. Make sure I didn't piss my neighbor off. I mowed too close to the property line. But no, seriously, that was freaking insanity. Yeah, I'm when they're like, we're gonna make a run for it. Yeah, and she stepped back and. The daughters, she was really, we didn't get, her boyfriend was the doofus Tariq, the independent documentary director with the scarf. Tariq was his name, I think, something like that.
He's like, I made one document. It's beautifully written because it's like, I made one document. No, you're not a documentarian. You're nothing. You made one thing and that's it. Like,
I love how the brothers like, you should do commercials. I love commercials. Just totally shits on him. That was the best like comedic banter in the movie. And that's where like I listened to Jeremy Johns, who reviewed this 11 years ago.
Yes.
I listened to a lot of Jeremy Johns' review because he's no bullshit. He always has been.
Right.
And that's one thing I really like about him. Guys like him, and I know a lot of people shit on him, but Chris Stuckman. Yeah. They call him a fence sitter and like milk toast. But
he became a fence sitter though. That's the thing. He didn't. You got to go back, like pick a year. I don't know what it is, like 2015 and on, and then or before then. Yeah, watch all of his stuff.
Mm-hmm. But no, so Jeremy Johns he said, I didn't really like this at first, and I kind of did, or however he worded it. This, like I said, it started a little bit slow, but yeah, when the ball gets rolling downhill, it's definitely worth the watch, and it does have rewatchability is the thing, because this is a movie where you're going to pick up little subtleties, because pretty much like the death with the girl running out the door. There's only one way that you can pull that off, and is if you have an inside person.
Exactly.
And so we get that with the brother Felix and his girlfriend Z. But the daughter really didn't have any dirt on her other than she had piss poor taste in guys. I mean, and even then, that's not to say the big guy was a bad guy. He was just kind of pretentious.
Right. These people are not bad. They're realistically bad in the sense that like, he's just annoying and this guy's condescending. It's like, okay, not like when I love Friday 13th, obviously, but like sometimes you got these characters who are super fake assholes. You're like, okay, how did this guy function in society being this way? Like nobody's that bad, right?
Right. That's one thing that always like threw me in movies when you have like a bully that's, I mean, they're like a totally unreasonable type. You know what I mean? Like there's almost no humanity to them because
right.
There's such a cliche.
Right.
And I think that's one of the tropes that horror movies, they fall into a lot in terms of characters and things that are like, because you do get these archetypes and these boilerplates. With this one, I can't say they, like you said, it was a more realistic type personality driven. The characters were, which outside of the, I would say outside of the plot to murder your family to get the inheritance, but that's such a realistic thing. All we need to do is look at the Menendez brothers.
Yes.
A very famous case of that.
It's always a family member. I've watched all 14 seasons and Forensic Files 2. I've watched all 14 seasons, all 4 or whatever million episodes. It's always a family member. This random Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer where a guy goes around doing stuff is like, that's like super like hardly ever happening. It's always an insider who wants money, inheritance, or just get a divorce or something every time. So this makes total sense, but you didn't know the second guy was involved. Yeah. He's conveniently gone, right? Like,
well, they paint him. Oh, go ahead, Blake. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. I was just gonna say that when it comes to Crispin, he was the only one I actually probably suspected the most. I really didn't before the reveals of Felix and Z and this and that. Crispin I thought was off because I'm like, from the moment because he was so quiet, so pretending to be scared the whole time, and all of a sudden he's like, I can run for it, this and that. He was silent the whole time, and then he dips, comes back. Like, he said he was going to the car in the first place. Then he comes back like, oh, I was just going to check it out. Now I'm going to go again. The coast is clear.
Right. Like, how is that loser still alive?
Exactly.
He should have been dead instantly as soon as he left because he can't run. Exactly.
Exactly. So when he came back and I'm like, and he's like, oh, I'm going to go again. Like, no, and also what bothered me about it was like, nobody questioned him. Everyone's like, so what did you see? Blah, blah. It was just like, oh, you're going to go back. And then the first time he goes underneath the wire, then this time he chops the wire and just added emphasis. I don't know, was angry. And then he was just gone the whole movie. So I knew that was going to come a play later. Now, the way he came back, I thought was surprising in the way they did it. I liked the way he does come back. I thought he was going to come back as like one of the guys in the mask. Like I kept thinking every time. Like that's what I was thinking the whole movie. So I'm glad they didn't do that because I thought that was more predictable if it was that case. He was going to be one of the killers. I even thought it was like, could that be the one that I thought when she's beating that one guy over the head, she's going to take off the mask and it was going to be him. And that would have been real crazy. But yeah, Felix and Z, I didn't fully get. I don't think until, when did I first feel it? Actually, it was right before the dad gets killed. So like before the dad gets killed, I felt like it was off just him being there. The other guy disappeared. And then his just facial expression when the dad's like backing up to eventually get his head grabbed and get slit. And then on top of that, when the dad get his throat slit, he like fell on top of Felix and his like blood like touched him. And Felix looked at him in disgust, like, oh, get off me. I'm like, dude, your dad's throat just got slit in front of you. And when I saw his reaction, it was kind of like, oh, this is disgusting. Don't touch. I got blood all over me. Before he did the whole dramatic walkthrough reveal, I knew immediately, like there, I'm like, oh, this is off. This guy's behind this whole thing. So that's when I realized it.
Just seeing anyone get slashed, you'd be like, oh my God, never mind your own father. So that guy, that's super weird, right? Yeah, and they're walking pretty relaxed too. Like, oh yeah, we'll go upstairs. Ooh. It's like, okay, you're pretty goddamn relaxed, like walking around here, right? Like okay, something's weird. And and Crispin's like, oh, I'll run to the car. It's like, wait, who are you again? You're a loser. Like, how are you gonna? You're not. It was you could see it was all weird. They were acting weird, and watching it again, you're gonna be like, dude, when I watched it again, I thought, well, these two guys are going to watch this movie and be like, yep, I know everything that's going on. There's not going to be any twist. I've seen it too many times. And when you see it too many times, you're almost like, oh, God, are these, like, Blake and Pete are going to be like, oh, that was obvious, you know.
Yeah.
But if they did it in such a subtle way, but if you watch it again, it's super obvious.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy obvious. Like, oh yeah, that was weird. They looked at each other. That's weird. Yeah. You could see the dad says, oh, they take people. Sometimes they take people who, you know, don't pass the thing. And he's like, oh, you can just see he's irritated with his dad. You're like, oh, you know, that's another thing he doesn't like about him.
I was kind of hoping they were going to get freaky on the bed with his mom's corpse because
my God,
I wanted to see Z's tits, man. She was giving off them goth mommy vibes, and I was like, I'm here for it, bro. I'm
shocked they didn't do it. The way the movie was played, it seemed in character for it to happen.
It needed, like, to me, I'm like, it would have made sense if that was when they did it right there. Like, I figured she just should have like taken off the top and been like. And then he would have turned her down because then at least we would have got to see some tits.
Yeah.
There's a little bit. There's two. There's four in there. There's four. There are two in the beginning, and then in the bathroom. In the bathroom, and then she puts it back on for a second. Yep. So you got four. It's a minimum 4 requirement. I actually know. I this is from Rock and Roll Nightmare. I don't know if you've ever seen Rock and Roll Nightmare. But they actually said the producer required 4 to 8. And they couldn't get enough girls, so they ended up getting like 3. It's like, well, we can do 6. How's that? Like, yeah, okay. And they literally have the tit count or whatever. We need this many to like get through. Okay.
That's important in horror, you know.
It is.
We need 8. We can only do 7. What?
Well, you can get the Total Recall chick, and then that could be 3. And
that's moving the Overton window too much.
Well, you could just expose one.
Yeah, right? You know, she's just like, there's one more. Wait a minute. Z and Felix, you could see there was something off with those two.
Yeah,
I thought they were just okay. So he's the youngest son. He's the kind of like brooding one of the 3 of them, and his girlfriend is like somebody that's going to match his energy at first. That's the vibe I got until you start picking up those little breadcrumbs. And when Pops, what was the dad's name?
I've seen this so many times I don't remember anyone's name but Aaron's, because
I've seen
it becomes inconsequential very quickly. Like, soon as the first family member died, I'm like, okay, they're all going to get killed, so who cares, right? Like, you're just waiting for them to get killed off.
It might be Paul.
I can get Wikipedia open if you want.
I have the cast list, but I'm not recognized. They have like not accurate.
Yep, it's Rob Moran.
Oh, Rob. Yeah.
Rob Moran, and he was what else was he in? Let's see. Kingpin. He was in Kingpin.
Oh, was it Dumb and Dumber?
Yep, Dumb and Dumber. Hall Pass, Quiet Cool, 1986. Is that Keanu Reeves?
A lot of comedies. There's Something About Mary. That's hilarious, movie.
Oh my god!
Ty West is the filmmaker guy. So that's.
I found that out after. I didn't realize while watching.
Yeah,
I watched a review of a YouTuber I like of the movie after I watched it. He pointed it out, and that was Ty West before he did X and
Pearl and all of those.
I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah. So it is funny that he's playing this pretentious filmmaker or whatever. I like the X trilogy, so I don't want to say those are. Well, they're somewhat pretentious, but I like them. Not in a bad way. I like all 3 movies. But anyways, I like that. It's like he's a filmmaker, then it's like he did his little thing. He's done other movies too. I don't think I've seen too many of his. Oh no, ABCs of Death and VHS. Yeah, he did one of the VHS things. Yeah.
I've never seen Pearl or
X or Maxine.
I have Maxine. I have
that. I'll loan them. Did I loan it to you?
I just haven't watched it because I hadn't seen the other 2.
I would watch X first.
X, so goes X, Pearl, then Maxine.
Yeah. Well, it depends. Okay, that is the order that it was released, but it's a little bit of a Temple of Doom, where Temple of Doom is a prequel to Raiders, and it establishes why Indy is the way he is, because he was Renee Belloc before he was Indy. He was Fortune and Glory Hunter, and then in Temple of Doom he goes through hell and has to be reborn and all this, and then he becomes the hero, and then that's who he is in Raiders. So Pearl takes place before X.
Okay.
So it's weird. It's like, just watch them and just do X, Pearl, Maxine.
Okay.
Yeah, you can watch Pearl X. You cannot Maxine's last. That's for sure. You can watch. I'm always thinking of Blake, and I'm always thinking it might be interesting to have someone watch, because I watched them in release order. It might be interesting to have someone watch Pearl, then X, then Maxine. Though it would ruin something.
Yeah,
but
that's the only thing I'm like, I don't know. Like, I can see why you're saying that.
It'd be interesting, but it's an interesting experiment.
Yeah,
I like Pearl the best, actually. Really? Yeah,
I originally liked Pearl the best the first time I went through them. When the first two came out, then when Maxine came out, I rewatched the other two again.
So did I.
And I think X has a little bit more rewatchability for me. So I do. It's a little bit more. So X is like a 70s, like, almost like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It is. But when the thing is revealed, I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, this is outrageous.
Pearl's probably better acting. Her performance in Pearl is phenomenal, especially that final monologue.
Yeah, it's super. Yeah, that one to me is more of a. But I also really like Maxine. Not to take anything away from. I like Mia Goth in general in all her roles that I've seen her in.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Infinity Pool?
Oh, I'm Canadian, so let's just put that aside. If it's I took a course in Cronenberg in university, so yeah, anything Cronenberg related, I've seen.
Crazy. That was crazy. The one that really made me like when it comes to Mia Goth. I'm like,
she's quite good in that, and incredible. So is Skarsgård too.
Yeah.
So wait, back to your next for a second. Okay, how awesome was it when that guy's chased her, because she's in the room there and the guy comes up and she just jumps through the window. She's like, I can't physically take this guy on. He's got weapons. I don't have anything. She just jumped it. Like, F it.
What is that? Emulation? Is that how it's pronounced? Throwing somebody out a window, or like?
Oh, I have no idea. I didn't know there was a term for that.
There's a term for it because I've heard it used in context with Friday the 13th. I believe it's where she throws herself out the window into the yard.
Yeah, that was sick. That was one of those situations where it's like I said, she did everything she could in every scene of this movie to say, I'm going to do whatever I can do. I'm not playing around. Like, okay, I'm in a dangerous situation. I don't think I can take him in this moment. I'm out. No, I'm going to take this risk by jumping out the window instead.
Yeah, she straight threw herself out a fucking second-story window. Just, goddamn.
It's crazy.
Just total. And then she's got that big ass chunk of glass in her leg, and that made me nervous because I'm like, I'm rooted for her so hard throughout the whole movie, and now this is actual something that's going to hold her back more. And I'm like, she's so smart. I'm like, and that's what the movie does well. It doesn't make it where it's like, okay, she's John Wick and she's just going to be unstoppable in every sense of the way. They make it where she does have obstacles that are realistic, that are really holding her back. So then she has to get even more smart and more savvy. One scene that I really liked too was just like, I don't know if she's, like I said, the survival tactics she was trained by her father, very jujitsu or whatever-esque, where she's hiding behind the curtain and she doesn't have any more weapons on her. And the one guy was coming through the curtain to get her. And I'm thinking, how is she going to get through here? And she starts holding her hand up, like strategically. I'm like, what is she about to do? And it immediately goes for like the throat, knowing that was going to like mess up his windpipe and he was going to like not be able to breathe for a second. And then she immediately dipped. Like I said, every situation, she just had like the right strategic move to go for, to catch the person coming after her off guard, because they were not expecting that. They're thinking, maybe a punch, a kick, or whatever. Just like going straight for the throat like that. It was such a precise attack that it was, like I said, it just felt like a perfect self-defense thing in that situation that I thought was believable in that moment. And I did not expect it. I didn't know what she was doing when she put her hands up and she did that. I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl is so freaking smart, man.
Setting the traps, when a character does this, isn't this way better than having the girl boss stuff? Because because you believe in the situation and it makes you love the character more, because you're like, that was sick. Yeah, good job. And you get into it versus like, if this is the problem with these girl boss things, they don't understand it. As soon as the realism is out the window, you cannot invest emotionally. No. It doesn't happen. No. I don't, even if you think, I thought she was really cool. You could just say they're cool, but you're not invested. You are with Erin immediately, whether you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. You're with her and you're like, okay, in her position, how could you do this? Because even guys, remember, like, I don't know what the average height is, but anyone who's like on the shorter end is going to be in a similar position as her, right? Like not all of us are Schwarzeneggers or whatever, right? It's like Pete, you're really tall, so you would have a different advantage. But like, we wouldn't have, I'm pretty tall too. Okay, so whatever, but find a short guy. You're short. So Blake would have a more advantage over Blake, right?
Yeah.
So, but the way that he would do it is be strategic, set up.
Yep.
She kicks in the nuts. She makes the guy step on the nail. She doesn't walk over and start doing jujitsu. She'll do moves if it's available for, and she hits a guy and runs away and gets a weapon. Yeah. She immediately gets weapons. We need weapons. We need to set traps. Lock the windows.
The character was written to have amazing situational awareness due to her upbringing, and she's very tactically sound, using the environment to her advantage. And then this is the thing you're talking about with a guy, even an average size guy might think, okay, one-on-one, I'm just going to bull rush this guy out of the curtain when I see him get close.
Right.
Which automatically puts you at a disadvantage because even with a bull rush, he's still got a melee weapon. You might catch a stray one, or even in the process, you're gonna get stabbed or cut somehow. But she's like, he's not gonna expect me to go right for his fucking throat.
Yeah.
So she chops his ass in the throat really quick, drops him, and then when she's knocking out the lights going through the hallway,
genius.
And the camera flash blinds him. Beautiful, fucking beautiful. He walks up to it and he's like, what the hell is this? And by the time he sees it, he's catching one to the back of the dome. It's too late, bro. It's too late.
Yeah, like you said, survival or situational awareness, that's like the key thing of here. And that I also look at the movie, like you said, like as a way of like a lesson too, that sometimes people, like you said, bull rush and using your side, like, oh, I could take this guy, blah, blah. Sometimes isn't always the best strategy if there's multiple X factors around, whether he has a weapon or there's more than one guy in the building. You might be fighting him and you're beating him, but then his buddy comes in. Like, we don't have time to be sitting here and fist fighting everyone in those type of survival instincts. And this movie, like, plays into that with her. And another, like, little detail of, there's so many little details with her doing that, but one that I really liked also was she was on the run, and it was after she already hurt her leg. She like jumped over the little balcony where the stairs are to go a little quicker, and instead of running for it, they're thinking she's running outside to go into the woods like every other final girl would, like, oh, we're gonna run into the woods. She looks to her right and the window's already been broken. She just hops right back into the house through the window. So the rest of them are running off trying to find her in the woods. She goes right back in the window, but she also knows that someone else might be smart enough to think that, so she's waiting outside that window with a weapon for the guy that's smart enough to realize, hey, she might have went in here, I'm going to check this out, and then she hits him over the head, or she stabs him, I think in the forehead, or whatever she did, right? So smart. And that's what you wanted her to do. As in these situations in real life, not everyone's going to make the smartest decisions, and we see that in every other movie. But in this movie, as a viewer, you sometimes are always rooting for them, and it's easy when we're sitting back watching the screen and saying, like, we can think of all the smart decisions. But in this movie, we're like saying, oh, you should go through that window. Oh, she actually does it. Unlike the other one, she makes all decisions you're rooting for. Oh, don't go too far. He might try to get, like, you can get the advantage over here. She does everything you want her to do as like an audience. And then, like you said, it makes us root for her. Go, hell yeah, like, awesome, you're doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they don't make the right decisions, you root for the villains. See, this is the thing. When you're making a horror movie, you've got to decide as a filmmaker, what am I doing? You can't be stupid. You're making Mad Max. We're rooting for Max. We're rooting for Snake Plissken. We're rooting for but you've got to figure out, because, like, look, you're rooting for Jason. Like, let's face the facts. As a kid, I watched it because Jason was cool, and I liked Jason with Freddy and Michael and all those guys. You're waiting for Jason to show up. Yeah. Jason's here. So, I like Tommy Jarvis.
I love Tommy Jarvis. Yeah,
sure, one of my faves. Obviously, he's great. Best final boy, I guess. Whatever. Yeah. But like, okay, but that's a unique character because he survived several films, right? Had Corey Feldman died, you'd be like, oh, it's Corey Feldman. But you'd be like, well, hey, listen, it's Jason. He fucking kicks ass. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry, but you didn't make it. You didn't make it, right?
Yeah. If Jason wins, that's how you feel. Yeah.
Right. Jason's like, oh, sorry, dude. I mean, it is what it is. What are you gonna do? But Aaron, you're so invested, and I don't know what are we at here? 50? Can we get into the get into the final spoilers?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
when the cops do show up, and actually in a timely fashion, because the movie's almost in real time. About soon as the dinner starts, you're almost in a real-time situational movie. Like the last hour is like actually an hour, right? The cops show up pretty fast once they finally get that signal. But he shot her. And you're like, shit. And that was you're like, oh my God, if she's dead, this totally sucks. And can you imagine thinking that in any other horror movie scenario? Like, if Jason comes in for the last kill and cuts the person's head off, you're like, yeah, that was awesome. Right here, you're like, oh, fuck, no. You're like, shit, is she dead? It's like, that's right. That's pretty impressive. You're on mute, Blake. Blake just gave us the meaning of life, and he forgot it, and he was on mute. Darn it. We're so close to learning.
Yeah, what the hell did I say? When we were talking about she got shot, I was pissed. I was
right.
If she died, I would have been so mad. I was like, please don't, she died. When I saw her on the show, I'm like, okay, she's probably dead. And I kind of knew what was going to happen. I was like, wait, he's going to go around the front door. And I was rooting for that to happen. I'm like, wait, funny. She set that booby trap earlier. Yeah. And I was just waiting along the line. And that was the cool thing about this movie is that they set up so many little things throughout the movie that you knew could play a factor later, and you think it's going to happen sooner. Like she set it up for one of the guys, but they went through the window, and she's like, crap. No, he went through the window instead. But they all left there to eventually happen down the line. And that was a cool way to end the movie, more or less.
Okay, you're next.
Dude, that when she got shot, I had the same reaction. I'm sitting back on the couch and I scared my cat because I did one of those things. I was like, what the fuck? Like, there's no way. She just went through all that, and now she gets shot by Barney fucking Fife.
I like Barney Fife. No,
one of the cops from Halloween 5 just shot her. And the funny thing was, because she got shot in the one shoulder, she'd been stabbed in the other one. All I could think of was Ace Ventura when nature calls. When he gets the darts, just like she couldn't move either arm. She's just like laying there on the floor. But yeah, when she rolled over, like, okay, good, she's alive. But Jesus, dude, that was a hell of a like a stinger, so to speak, right there.
And I was so glad that she did that to Crispin before she got shot.
Okay, so
you saw him slowly creeping up. I'm like, she ain't playing around.
No, of course. So that's the other question. So you see, he plays to her. He's like, well, no, you were going to be the witness. All this, it's clearly bullshit, right?
Yeah.
So the thing, because you can't control that situation, even if that was real, you can't control. And she questions it. I like when characters push back. This is something I find in writing that isn't happening as often, where characters push back. So this guy comes in, he's like, oh, you were going to be the witness. It's like, oh yeah, well, how are you going to control that? Since like people were getting shot all over the place, I could have easily got killed. No, you weren't supposed to. It was very integral to the plan. It's like, we're going to be rich and all that. And it's like, yeah, F this. And she just slashes him. And you knew that she was going to do that because you understood her character through watching her actions. You're like, look, she's not buying this. She's way smarter. This guy's stupid. We know he's a goof. And it was so awesome. It was awesomely played out because you as a viewer are now totally on her side, and you're like, you know what, screw this guy. Like, no, you're not talking yourself out of this. Like, F you, you're a piece of garbage. And that was another cheering moment. And that's why the shot after, which happens very quickly after, is a shocker, because first it's a cheer, then it's a no. Yeah. And they took that victory from, like, you're like, yeah. And then like, oh, all right. Like it was like two double reactions, and it's almost better than a double jump scare where you get, it's a dream or something, and it's a jump scare. And then it's like, oh, a second jump scare, right? Like, which they do all the time. But like having two completely different emotions, reactions based on one character is awesome. Within 1,000, two of that she shot, right? You're like, whoa.
Yeah, that was dope. I liked the way, as I alluded to earlier, the way it was revealed too. Like, I knew he was gonna come back. I knew he was been gone too long. We don't find a body because we found the other one gets killed that ran off, and I'm like, okay, how is this gonna play a factor? And it was him calling his brother And it's just her listening on the line. And like you said, the guy's a goofball. He's an idiot. He's admitted everything on the phone. He's like, I know you're upset with me because I didn't help out and I left. You know how I am. I get queasy. As she's just sitting there, breathing and listening next to his brother's dead body that she put a blender in his skull.
Oh, that was
all this awesome. The craziest kill possible. And then the other girl just sitting there, she's listening. And we're like, dude, that was just so awesome. And yeah, we gotta talk about the blender kill.
Beautiful.
Sticking in the skull, immediately plugging it in, and just oh my gosh.
Well, first she busted his ass right upside the head with it.
Yeah,
breaks that shit. He goes down as a lump. And the dude, Nicholas Tucci, which I had to look it up. I was like, is that Stanley Tucci's kid? It's not. It's not, because it would have made sense. Although he doesn't really look like Stanley Tucci, but he seemed like a decent enough actor. But you know who you remind me of? I've never really seen the show, but my wife watched it. It was called You.
Oh, yes.
You know what's funny? I felt like you were about to say that, too. I felt that vibe.
Doesn't he look like that cat? A little bit.
As the movie goes along, you feel it more for sure.
Yeah, because like I saw a couple like episodes here and there with her when she was watching. I'm like, yeah, I got that vibe from that dude. But yeah, the blender scene, he just mashes it right down top of his head. Or Aaron does on top of his head, and I just posted that on Instagram. I posted the thing, and I tagged Sharni Vincent in it. But no, and then Wendy Glenn Z gets hers as they had a pretty decent little fight. I was looking forward to that when she went looking for. I'm like, okay, we're gonna get these two going at it now. We're gonna get a good fight out of them, because I'm like, I feel like Z, she just comes off as another like female that's probably not gonna run from a fight, you know. Yeah. But yeah, she gets tossed a little bit, gets a few licks in, and then gets a knife right to the top of the head, like just gets brained, like just right there.
That was rewarding, because that character, you could just tell, thinks that she's walking around badass. Like this is the type of character. Oh, I'm this goth chick. I'm a badass chick. You're nothing. Yeah. It's like you haven't actually gone through anything that's remotely. You're just rebellious just to be rebellious, and it's over. Like you can be rebellious when you're like 15 or whatever, 16, 17. It's over, girl. Like go back, like get a job or whatever. And like Aaron here is like, listen, I've been through actual shit. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in the outback. My dad's a nutcase or whatever, and like. So your little bullshit antics of, let's have sex on the bed. It's like, you think you're badass. It's like, here's a knife to your skull. How do you like that shit?
Yeah.
And it's like, Aaron is bad. That's a great, because again, you have many, if you just go look back a little bit, look at the different archetypes of all the characters in the movie, you can almost see who the filmmakers definitely think are the better people, almost in order. It's like, pretentious filmmaker, get this guy out of here. It's like they're killing off the people in who they think is annoying. I was actually trying to piece together if there's some method to the deaths, like, is that guy, was the brother a backstabber, so he got an arrow in the back? I don't know. I was trying to see if I could read it. I like overanalyzing these movies. But anyways, I couldn't really find a lot of evidence to support any of my theories, so I'm not going to mention them except for that backstabbing one. But anyways, it was cool, because it's like, you think you're badass, like, no. And the girl who is not supposed to be there almost, or who's the most outside of this entire thing, ends up being the only survivor, the winner. You almost feel like she should get the money, like, give it to her somehow.
Right.
Yeah.
Give her the money.
Like, I wish she would get the money, even though she killed the guy, all the family dies or whatever. Definitely earned it.
She definitely
there was a game show.
Z actually put the mother's wedding ring on.
Yeah. See, what a piece of garbage. And it's like, I'm going to take this wedding ring. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, she put that wedding ring on. I was like, ooh.
There's no call for that. Like,
after she wanted Felix to bang her right next to mom's body, which I'm sorry, but her goth ass, if she's, that's me. I'm just like, sorry, Ma.
Yeah.
With me, it'd be easy though, because my mom is in a jar.
Oh, so that's okay then.
Yeah, she's in a jar. I mean, she's
Right.
not going to be taking up space on the bed. The jar's not going to be in the bed because you don't want the jar to spill.
Right,
It's
that's true.
Ash. I'm making a my mom's dead joke. But I'm gonna get hit by lightning next time I walk out of the house.
Great. The stream's gonna end. The stream ends. Like, what happened?
Oh, Jesus. Literally.
Literally.
But no, that yeah, so the character of Z, definitely some big underlying issues there. A lot to unpack with her, but she's definitely nowhere near as combat ready as Aaron is. It's all a thinly veiled facade that she's putting out, and then whereas Aaron is just, it's always the loudest dog, you know, that you don't really have their bite's not that bad, and then here's Aaron that's just so unassuming. How did you meet? What was his name? Crispin. Oh, I was his teacher's assistant, you know, or she's TA, blah 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 blah, and all this and that. And yeah, and that started the whole thing. And it's funny because like they're setting the brother up to be like Drake, to be like the big asshole, and then it's like he really wasn't that bad. He was a prick, but at least he didn't try. At least he didn't have the whole family murdered.
Right, and it is weird. Like, but the other thing is like, oh, that's awkward. It is awkward. It's like, I don't understand. It's like, oh, what's your problem? Well, it is awkward. Like, why? That's why you knew it was awkward. That's why you weren't the TA anymore, right? So,
right.
Like, so that if you didn't think it was awkward, you would have continued the relationship as is. So obviously, it is awkward.
And the way they framed it, it didn't paint Aaron in a negative light at all. You know, it really didn't. Even when he was trying to, you know, bribe her, basically in the end, she was still like, okay, whatever. I don't need money. I love it when what did he say? Why, Aaron? She goes, because fuck it. That's why. And she stabbed him. I was like, that. I need to make that into a GIF. That's fantastic. That one's fantastic. But no, this was a fun watch. Like I said, this has high rewatchability as far as I'm concerned. It's almost, I didn't look up. One thing I want to do is I want to look up, because it did get a theatrical release. I want to see what it made.
Let me see. I've got it on Wikipedia.
Oh, dear. Okay.
Okay, so it was a budget of $1 million, made 27.
Made 27 million.
Yeah, off budget of 1 million. That's pretty damn good. I mean, it's all one house. So realistically, what if you know?
That's budget of 1 million is impressive.
God, that's why horror is a slam dunk if you just do it right. I mean, and I think this movie got it right. I really did. I know I listened to one review talking, they were kind of shredding the acting, and I'm like, the acting you don't need Shakespearean acting. And Jay, we've talked about this so many times. You can't go into movies like this expecting high art or comparing it to fucking Lawrence of Arabia.
Right.
It's a slasher movie on a $1 million budget.
Yeah.
And we got a lot more than that budget would have given you. You would have thought it gave you a lot more. They took it's a tight, claustrophobic movie. You know, it's even though it's a big mansion, it's still claustrophobic because mostly you have the other house, but most of the action takes place. 99% of it's in the fucking house, you know. But I enjoyed it, man. Sharni Vinson, you have a new fan. Yeah, and I dug it, man. Blake, we'll let you score this one first, brother.
So I'm gonna go with a 4 out of 5.
Okay,
that's my score. It's a strong 4. At first, at the beginning of the movie, like I said, I didn't like it as much. I was like, oh, this is probably a 3 or 3.5. But that Aaron just brought it up to such a different level,
right?
Where I was like, oh, this movie rocks. It was really good.
Yeah. It's insane how one character can elevate an entire movie. Just that's a big tip of the cap to Sharni's portrayal of the role. I mean, really, and you know, like you said, we weren't working with a Lawrence of Arabia script, but damn, did she just play this shit to the nines. So 4 out of 5 from Blake. Jay, what do you think?
So I do out of 10 using my space system. So I'm giving it 8.5 out of 10. I gave a perfect score to the enjoyment factor, a perfect score to the characters because Aaron is the main character, and the villains are pieces of garbage. I wanted to see them die, and I wanted to see Aaron kill them, and I got all that. Artistic wise, I gave it a 1.5 out of 2. 2 is the highest you can get in any of my categories. So the artistic, I gave it a 1.5. It's shot pretty well. A couple of parts I could have been a little bit better on some of the. It's got that sort of shaky thing, which always kind of like. Irritates me a little bit. So I knocked it a half point on that. Knocked a half point on pacing because even though it is only 94 minutes, it does take a while. And I've seen it many times. Even though it plays better the second time, it's still a little slow. Story-wise, I gave it 1.5 out of 2 because it gave me a lot of things I didn't expect. I always give a movie 5 out of 10. Before I even see a movie, it's a 5 out of 10. And then it goes up or down from what I expect, because I expect a movie to be a 5 out of 10 pass. I didn't go see this. If I thought this movie looked shit, I wouldn't have rented it, bought it, seen it. So why would I go in wanting to hate something, right? So I want to like it, and then I move the scores up and down as we go. This is an awesome movie. I'm glad that you guys liked it, because nobody's talking about it. This is the J-Man forcing people. Steve, I was telling my buddies, you gotta watch, like, you're next. I put it on the drive, get it, and they're like, oh, I'll watch it when I can. I'm like, dude, just watch it, so 8.5 out of 10.
I'm gonna look at this one pretty much the way, like I said, I look at most of these movies and judge it on an individual basis. And was I entertained thoroughly? Absolutely. Did all the scumbags get their comeuppance in a very fitting fashion? Fuck yeah, they did. You got a good amount of gore. The kills were solid.
Yeah.
Like I said, the all practical effects.
I think so.
I don't think there was anything that wasn't practical.
I never thought. Yeah, I don't. You're right. Yeah.
I mean, so I give it high marks for that. And yeah, Sharni Vincent and the guy that played Felix was a good swarmy, shitbag villain. I mean, yeah, the killers, your triad of assholes, yeah, they were all just a bunch of scumbags.
Yeah, paid. So they don't care. It's like
right. So they're just mercs. So yeah, it was fine seeing them get offed. Yeah, the set pieces look good. I have no complaints about this one. I'll give it, I'll go 4.5 out of 5 or a 9 out of 10 on this. I fucking loved it. I'd recommend it, and I'm definitely going to watch it again.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. I mean, so if we're talking just general talk, then hell yeah, watch it. Like I always like to give my nerdy film school. I went to film school. I have my rating system that I came up with. But then it's like, just talk normal. Look, it's awesome. Like you and I, when we talk privately, I'm not saying, well, I think it's a fucking 8.5. Like I'm like, dude, this was awesome. You gotta watch this, right? Like when I was like, you gotta watch Tenebrae. Like it wasn't, what do you think of this in the terms of giallo films? I'm like, I don't care. I'm just telling you, watch it. It's awesome. We'll talk about it on stream and break it down, right? But just as general talking, like, yeah, this was awesome.
It was. It's a fun watch. Like you said, yeah, once you get past, you get the first kill, and then it just kind of slogs a little bit.
Yes.
But knowing now what it builds to, you can look for the little things, like we said, the nuances and whatnot. But yeah, I liked it. God damn it, Parrot Head. We're doing this again. Etep's nose is so big that when he sneezes, he knocks planets out of orbit. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, is your nose big? I don't think it is it?
It's kind of the running joke, yeah.
I don't think
like when I lay on my bed. What did you say last night? Something about when I lay on my back. I can't remember what he said.
Etep's nose ring.
God damn it! I don't have a nose ring.
Yeah, and it's Pete now. Etep's been canceled how many times now on Facebook?
Yeah. Yeah, I had to. This is a funny story, Blake. Yeah, I had to change my main Facebook account, which is
like 17 times or something.
Yeah, five accounts nuked. Like three of them. One of them I had since 2008. Then my secondary one I started in 2020. My third one which I started in 2021. Those were all gone. So I started a new one under my real name. That one got nuked within 5 minutes. Then I started another one that got nuked within 5 minutes. I'm like,
jeez.
Okay, I need an alias. So I had to misspell my last name and use my grandfather on my mother's side's first name.
Oh my God.
Everybody's like, is this you or is this somebody pretending? I'm like, no, trust me. Nobody wants my identity. Nobody wants to be me. There is not one human being, including my son, who I'm not even his favorite wrestler. So,
my God.
Right. It's fine. I told him, I said, your favorite wrestler, Josh, I hope Josh is watching. I love you, Josh. He's watching. I said, because he just turned babyface. Trey's like, yeah. I said, Dad's a heel, son, and he's got a title. He goes, no. I'm like, I'm going to beat the living shit out of him. He's like, he looked, he got all he's like, no. I'm like, oh, that hit you in the feels. I was like, yeah, I'm fucking him up.
You're never going to be, the thing is, you're never going to be your son's.
Oh, I know.
Absolutely. Rob Liefeld's kids were playing Marvel something or other, and they're playing as Deadpool, and they're like, we love Deadpool. He's like, yeah, I created that, right?
They're like, we don't care. They're like, we don't care.
We don't care.
We don't care. We like the character. But yeah, I had to bust his balls about it. But no, it was cool because he gave my kid a free T-shirt at the last show. My son's never asked any of the wrestlers for a picture. And after he did, Josh, like, your son's so polite, I'm like, as he goes, I'll give him a T-shirt next show. So he come up and give me one. So I gave him one of mine, which are available. All you have to do is hit me up and I'll send you one. $20, just PayPal me. No tax, no shipping. They come directly from me. We got sizes from small to 2X for the big boys. So I get you one of those. I wish I was wearing mine earlier when I worked out, but it's in the laundry now because it's all nasty and it smells like tanning stuff. So anyway, that's it. That's the show, folks. Check out Super Shogun Pro Wrestling this weekend if you're in the West Branch, Michigan area. Shogun Dark is this weekend. That's our dark, non-fully produced show. No cameras, just violence. That's how we roll. And then we'll be back full for our WrestleMania Samurai Slam August 31st out at Dragon's Den, which you're going to want to get tickets in advance for that one because they're already honestly selling for August 31st, which is a good sign for us, which means we're going to have a packed fucking house. We got a steel cage match. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to September, though, because I get to start full-time in ring in September. But, yeah, I'll have another promo coming up. Anyway, folks, Blake, tell the folks where they can find you. Your link's in the description.
Far From Blake is my YouTube channel. You can also find me on X, also Far From Blake. I make horror content. I have a fun Jason Voorhees tier list video you guys can go check out. I also recently reviewed I Know What You Did Last Summer, the original and the new version. I plan on making an I Know What You Did Last Summer ranking video. Any horror-related content is on my channel, so if you like horror, go check it out.
Awesome. Thank you for being here again, brother. Great to have you.
Blast. And that was a good movie suggestion. Thank you, J-Man.
You're well. All of my suggestions are 10 out of 10 masterpieces. Believe me. Not one time has there ever been a bad suggestion.
I don't think you've
actually. Has there been a bad suggestion?
No.
No. I'm telling you.
No, you have not. Honestly, I would tell you if you did it.
Yeah, listen. No. I didn't just walk in out of the cotton field or whatever. It's like I know what's going on.
But J-Man, thank you as well, brother. Again, as always, for being here every Tuesday, man. Appreciate it. J-Man's links in the description. What do you got going on the rest of the week?
I don't know. Every Monday is Avengers. So we talk about 4 Avengers comics. We're into the 70s now, issue 70. Friday is Star Wars comics. So we just finished. We're into 7, 8, 9, 10 of Marvel's Star Wars. And then I do every Sunday is a stream on something. This week is Brave Star. Remember the cartoon Brave Star? Yeah. Brave Star. We're doing that. We're doing that on Sunday.
I saw that.
I'm seeing Fantastic Four on Thursday, so I'll beat the crap out of that movie on Thursday night when I review it. It might be okay. That's it. It's mostly comic book and like cartoon stuff. So there you go.
And yeah, we'll have. Thank you, Jay, man. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on that. I'm probably going to go see Superman and Fantastic Four. I'm still holding out hope because I listened to a non-spoiler review of Fantastic Four, and I'm like, okay. I'm definitely willing to give this a chance because I do like the group and the comics. So I'm hoping that this is at least gives me something. I'm not a Pedro Pascal guy, but I'm not. But
Pedro Pascal's he was in Your Next. You just didn't see him. They had to cut his
right.
like,
I was gonna say he was in there somewhere. That some bitch was.
He
was the butler.
There's only one. The thing is, the Silver Surfer being Shala Ball is the killer because it's an insult to Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby created everything. Stan Lee inserted his name on a lot of stuff, and it's all Jack Kirby. And when Jack Kirby left Marvel, he went to DC and created a whole bunch of more good, awesome stuff. Jack Kirby's the biggest creative force we've ever had since like Shakespeare or something. And his only sole credit, everything is Stan Lee or someone else's name is Joe Simon. Is Silver Surfer. That's the only one where he has the sole credit where it is actually his, and they changed it. And they're saying, oh, we love the Fantastic Four. It's like, no, I don't know if I can get over it. Aesthetically, I like the look of it. I like the 60s retro kind of Jetson style.
Yeah.
That looks good. The rest of the cast is not too bad. Galactus looks pretty decent. Everything visually looks neat, but I don't know if I can get over that one part. Like if Silver Surfer was just Norn Rad.
Yeah.
That's it. And he looked great in that other movie.
Yeah, the 2000
whatever year it was.
7.
Lawrence Fishburne's voice with the body of Doug Jones. Yep. That was the best thing. That movie's a bit. People are like, oh, I don't like that movie. Yeah, but he was amazing in that. And Silver Surfer is important, and it's Jack Kirby's legacy. I just can't. It might be an okay like. You know, normies will be like, "Well, I thought it was pretty good." It's like, yeah, but it's not. It's like when Han Solo dies in Force Awakens. What am I supposed to? How am I going to review this movie? It's like you just killed Han Solo in the dumbest ass way possible. Like,
and they gave him a villain's death.
Oh God, yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Yep.
Tangent.
But no, you're fine. I'll be getting the Intruder commentary uploaded on Patreon, which we did. Which was a fucking blast. I watched, like I said, I watched it with my son. He enjoyed it. I watched it twice. I liked it. So you'll be able to watch that movie with us on Patreon. That's patreon.com/wrestling with horror 420. Channel members, you got a stream last night. I'll get you another one before the week's over. I'm going to try to get a video out. I haven't put out an actual video in 84 years. I'm like that old lady from Titanic. But look, gang, it's just time, and my time is dedicated to, the family and the wrestling and the weights and the eating. So I'm still streaming every fucking day, though. So, and I'm sure tomorrow night when I get home from wrestling camp, since I'm coming home to an empty Wakuian compound here, we'll have a stream tomorrow night, late night. We might do a watch party so it's easier on your boy. But thank you, everybody, for being here. We appreciate you guys watching, hanging out. If you're watching on the playback, Sharni Vincent, if you ever see this, you're freaking amazing, and we are all fans now. You rocked as Aaron and really made this movie even more fun than it was. So thank you to everybody. If we don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow. We'll catch you on the next one. And remember, it is always better to burn out than fade away. Deuces.